Have you ever found yourself flipping through the beautiful pages of Pottery Barn catalog or browsing Maggie and Co., falling completely in love with a piece of decor, only to have your heart sink the second you see the price tag? If you love that high-end, organic, modern farmhouse style, but you are working with an everyday budget, you are in exactly the right place. Today, I'm taking some simple thrift store finds and transforming them into stunning high-end dupes that look like they cost a small fortune. Hi everyone and welcome back to DIYs with Sonia. If you're new here, I am so incredibly happy you stopped by. On this channel, we believe that creating a curated, beautiful home shouldn't have to break the bank. So grab your favorite cozy drink, get comfortable, and let's get into our first project. We are starting things off with these glass candlesticks. I actually thrifted these for just $2 each. They are those pretty generic glass ones that you can almost always find lining the shelves at your local thrift store. But looking at them, I knew they had the perfect shape to mimic those beautiful, chunky wooden candlesticks you see at high-end retailers. If you shopped for wooden candlesticks recently, you know that ones in the specific shape and style are actually surprisingly hard to find. And even at places like IKEA, they can be quite pricey. So I thought, why not try making them myself? After peeling off the old stickers, the very first step is a really good cleaning. I'm using Dixie Belle's White Lightning Cleaner. It comes in powder form that you mix with water and it cuts through all the sticky residue, grease, and grime. You want the glass to be squeaky clean, otherwise the paint just won't adhere properly. I'm skipping primer today because chalk paint actually has fantastic gripping power on glass. For my base coat, I'm using Dixie Belle Mineral Chalk Paint in the shade Ecru. This is one of my absolute favorite foundational colors whenever I'm trying to create a faux wood look. I apply one generous even coat, making sure to cover all the glass, and then I let it dry completely. Now for the magic. Adding natural wood tones to your home is one of the easiest ways to bring in warmth, texture, and an organic and grounded feel. In high-end design, wood accents are essential for making a room feel lived in and cozy rather than sterile. Once the ecru paint is totally dry, I go in with my no paint gel stain in color walnut. Using a chippy brush, I apply a fairly generous coat, not quite as heavy as you might use on a raw furniture, but enough to fully cover the painted surfaces. I'm intentionally brushing it in the same direction, vertically up and down the candlestick. This is the secret to creating those subtle lines that beautifully mimic the natural grain and patterns of real wood. I intentionally left the very top lip unpainted for now, just so I have a spot to hold and easily rotate them while I work. Before the stain has a chance to dry, I wipe my chippy brush as clean as possible on a paper towel, removing almost all the product. Then I lightly drag the dry brush over the stain again in the same vertical direction. This blends and smooths out the finish. It's totally okay if there are some darker, heavier spots. That actually adds to the realistic, varied look of natural wood. You don't need any fancy tool for this. A basic brush does the job perfectly. Once I was happy with the look, I finished off the top lip with whatever stain was left on my brush. This is such an incredibly easy, affordable way to give non-wood pieces a rich wooden texture. I absolutely love the way these look styled with shorter, ripped taper candles sitting beautifully on a coffee table or a styled shelf. Before we jump into our next project, if you are enjoying these budget-friendly flips and love creating a cozy intentional home, I would be so honored if you hit that subscribe button down below. It helps my little channel grow so much, and I would love to have you as part of our DIY family. Now let's move on to our next dupe. For our next project, we are creating that covered chunky artisan ceramic look. If you look at Magnolia lines, Pottery Barn, or McGee and Co., these small textured table lamps are everywhere right now. I found this little gem at the thrift store for only $3. It had really lovely shape, and honestly, the shade is perfectly fine with a little cleaning, but I wasn't a huge fan of a painted flower motif on the base. It was the perfect candidate for a textured makeover. I finally picked up some baking soda at the store and to create the viral textured paint hack. I'm using chalk paint in the color Highlands, which is the really beautiful soft earthy green. I wanted it just a touch lighter, so I mixed in a bit of white paint until I reached the perfect muted shade. For the first coat, I mixed just a little bit of baking soda into the paint to thicken it up and gave that lamp full coverage. If you want a matte painted look, you could absolutely stop right here, but I wanted the really rich aged pottery vibe. So once the first coat was dry, I mixed a lot more baking soda into the leftover paint to create a really thick, almost paste-like consistency, and I stippled all and brushed that all over the lamp. A quick tip when adding baking soda, start small. It thickens the paint very quickly, so add a little at a time until you reach your desired texture. If you add too much at once, you'll have to add more paint to thin it out, and you might end up wasting a lot of product. The second coat gave it incredible chunky texture. Once it was fully dry, to really highlight all those beautiful imperfections, I took my best dang wax in white and very lightly brushed it over all the raised parts of the paint. This settled into the grooves and gave it that gorgeous stone-washed high-end look I was dreaming of. It might not be the exact replica of a specific store-bought lamp, but it beautifully captures the same expensive aesthetic. To make the lamp work anywhere in my home, I completely tucked the original cord away inside the base, which you saw previously, and added a Wi-Fi rechargeable light bulb that I picked up on Amazon. I will leave the link down below. It has different light settings, and I think this is such a genius alternative for those cozy corners in your kitchen or up on a built-in shelf where you don't have an outlet or you just don't want an ugly cord showing. For our final DIY, my front porch was in desperate need of a refresh. I wanted a wreath that was simple, organic, and transitioned beautifully from spring right into late summer. I actually pulled this large grapevine wreath from my craft stash. I thrifted it last year for about $5. Large grapevine wreaths are the perfect base for the wild natural magnolia look. To fill it, I picked up these delicate floral stems. I used two different styles, one with tiny yellow flowers and one with small green buds. In total, I used 15 stems, 11 of the yellow and 4 of the green. I started by taking apart the branches, clipping each branch off with scissors, although you should use wire cutters. Make sure you leave a significant amount of the stem attached. This allows you to wave and poke it deeply through the tightly wound vines which keep the florals secure without needing much glue. If a stem was being stubborn and wouldn't sit right, I just added a tiny dab of hot glue to lock it in place. To keep the wreath balanced, I used the clock method. I placed first stems at 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. Once I had those anchors in place with the yellow flowers, I simply worked my way around filling in the gaps. Then I layered in the green stems to break up the color and add a few more yellow ones for an extra volume. When making a wreath like this, don't forget to fill in the inner and the outer sides of the grapevine. When it's hanging on your door, you will be able to see it from different angles, so you want it to look lush and full from every perspective. You can make this as spare and as minimal or as full and wide as you like. I am so happy how full and romantic this turned out. Now, a quick note on the florals. Because these are budget finds, the stems do have a slightly plastic feel to them. I usually find the Dollarama stems have a slightly better quality than the Dollar Tree, but for an outdoor wreath that will be exposed to the elements, this plastic texture is actually perfect for holding up against the weather. If you were to buy a wreath of this size and fullness at a high-end store, it would easily run you over $100. I made this entire piece for under 30, and it brings such a welcoming, vibrant life to my front door. And there you have it, three high-end designer-inspired pieces for a fraction of the cost. I really hope these projects inspired you to look at thrifted items a little bit differently and to know that you can create that gorgeous curated home you've been dreaming of no matter your budget. I would love to know which of these three projects was your favorite today. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoy spending the time together, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a DIY. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.